What is the biggest change that has happened to you in your life?
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So
What is the biggest change that has happened to you in your life?
So I was diagnosed when just after I turned 14 with type 1 diabetes.
How did you find out you had diabetes? So what were the implications or?
What were the symptoms?
Yeah.
So I probably first noticed it about 3 months before I got started consuming a lot of water, excessive amounts. I wasn't a big water drinker. And then it was just drinking, pissing. Oh, I don't feel so well. Drinking, pissing. Just constantly feeling yuck, down. Then I started getting not hungry. Then I got a fever. Just boom. And it got me hard. So it was just utter sickness of, like I could just not do this anymore. It'd be great. Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit about diabetes? Like what it is, like the difference between type 1 and type 2?
So as my doctors like to say, that they shouldn't be a type 1 and type 2, like it's very different. Type 1 diabetes is where my body does not produce any insulin for itself. So there is no insulin supplied from my body to answer my food intake. So I'm completely insulin dependent. That's what my word was. I'm completely insulin dependent. And type 2 can be controlled by a healthy diet and good exercise.
Right, so you're type 1.
And I'm type 1, yes. So whereas you'd typically get your overweight people or your older people where their bodies are starting to break down, they haven't looked after themselves as much, well, not necessarily for old people, but for the larger people. And then so they either need to take insulin to help their body to carry on, otherwise sort their life out.
So what was your life like before it happened? So what kind of sports were you doing? What were you eating? What was just life like in general?
That's great. I wasn't the skinniest 13-year-old you'll come across. I was probably pretty well loved by mum, if I just wanted something in terms of food, it was there, supplied, which was great for my desires at the time. I did heaps. I did rugby, martial arts. I was always full on at school, loved every type of exercise, PE you could do, just loved being out there. Started running and stuff for rugby, did a lot of motocross. That was always good.
So what changes happened after your diabetes? Did your hobbies change? Did your eating change? And that aspect, what changed after you got your diabetes or you were diagnosed?
I guess it was a big life assessment. There's the fact that I couldn't come home from school and just, I'd be starving, so I'd just eat. I'd graze right until dinner and then have a big dinner and then go to bed, That's what I used to do, but I'd come home from school and I'd have to look at an apple and determine what size it is for how many carbs would be in the apple. I'd have to think about how many pieces of bread I'd had what type of bread it was. I had to pack it look so much, you know. I made it I was determined to figure diabetes out, you know, to figure out what it was and what it was doing to me, and how I would not let it control my life. That was my biggest thing, was and even more so now. It was a big first thing to not have it controlling my life, but even more so now, it's not a controlling factor. So say the question again.
So what were the changes it made in your life, eating wise, sports wise? Did you have to give up on any hobbies?
No, I made sure that, like, it's still my life. You've only got one, so I'm not going to let this determine how I would live it. I just have to monitor more so what my intake is for what I'm needing. Like, I have to account for the types of exercise that I do, for what my food intake should be, for what my insulin dosage should be for a day. You know, like, I've got to sit there in the morning and sit there at night at 5 o'clock every 12 hours and go, all right, what have I got on? What am I doing? Am I going to be dancing? Now I'm dancing. Am I going to be just chilling at home, relaxing? You know, am I going to be running around all day at work? Am I going to be sitting in a car all day? Am I going to be in the office? You know, and these are all factors that change, and I have to life assess every 12 hours for my basal insulin with what's happening. You know, so I just made sure it didn't affect it.
Okay. Do you believe that your age and personality helped you through what you're going through with your diabetes, or have gone through?
Yeah, of course.
So,
I mean, you get people that are diagnosed with possibly type 2, and they've had this life right up until they're 55. You know, they've lived the same way. And all of a sudden a doctor goes, oh, you've got to exercise more, you've got to eat healthier. And they haven't changed for 15 years maybe, you know. They've drunk a box of beer every night and a pie every morning to help them through it, you know. Or they're just stuck on the V's, and then they've got to start getting out there and doing it, you know. And I just thrive off the fact that I want to go out and I want to be enjoying every part of life, just absolutely thriving off the fact that it's such a beautiful life that we have, and just not let it get me down, not let it hold me back. And I'm just so appreciative since my diabetes, since this huge change of what I have each and every day and what I can do, you know. And sometimes I sit there and go, oh, I wish I could just eat and not really mind about it, you know, just this once. Or I wish I could just not have to have this thing constantly in the back of my mind. But it is who I am now, and I thoroughly enjoy it.
Awesome. So when you first started off, was it hard for you, or did you just work it out really fast?
Oh, well, you have to work it out fast. I mean, if you can't work it out fast, then you can slip back. You know, I remember the first week I was like, oh, this is great. I get to play with needles, sharp things, you know, this is awesome. And then I remember the second week going, this is gay. Like, this is stupid. Why am I doing this? And then after then, you just have to live with it. And I think it was another 3-month point, and I was like, why do I have to do this? Why me? You know, have a little sulk, have a little cry, and get up, carry on, because can't change it. But I found the hard thing. I literally found one of the hardest things was the huge diet change that we had, because from my eyes, Mum found get rid of it fast schemes, you know, get rid of diabetes by doing this. And I looked at it all and went, oh, but this is all for type 2, so I'm not interested, you know. And with mum's food, I just went, I don't want to cook me something normal. And I remember that being quite hard. I mean, mum went raw vegan for that. So that made life interesting. Hey.
So obviously mum was someone that helped you. Were there others that were helping you through it as well? Were there others trying to give you other options? And
Oh yeah, people always try to help me. Like even now I get people, oh, I brought you this sugar-free thing. Like, don't give me sugar-free. Just give me a normal thing and I'll work it out. You know? But yeah, always everyone would help. They'd be like, they'd talk me through a dinner of what's on there, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I can see what's on here with carbs. Like, I've lived this for a while. So,
so did you find that support helpful or annoying?
I'm a do-it-myself kind of person. So it hindered. Some of it, yeah, to step back and go, oh, okay, no, actually, thanks. You know, but yeah, if I didn't, I've got the thing, if something's not working for me, I'll change it. If I don't like something, I'll get rid of it. So in terms of if not having this massive piece of cake, if having this piece of cake is going to be a hassle for me, I won't have it. You know, if I get given a huge amount of carbs on my plate, I just will move half of it to the side. You know, I don't need that much. If my diabetes is playing up when I'm doing sport, then I'll make adjustments for it to suit me. You know, even if I have to take 15 minutes to sort my life out.
Right. So did you have any medical support?
I have to.
You have to.
So I have to have insulin to take on every gram of carbohydrate into my body. So say 2 slices of Vogel's toast has got, your original toast has got 32 carbs in it, 32.4 or something. So I have to count for that. The butter that I put on it has got a certain amount of carbs. The jam I put on it has got a certain amount of carbs. So once that enters my body, I've got to have insulin, because that is carbohydrates are glucose, turn into glucose in your body, which is a sugar, and then it's all measured off my blood sugar. And so that to convert to energy in my body needs the insulin, which acts as a little key so that it can enter my muscles and be beneficial to me. Otherwise, I just have this sugar-rich system that basically eats itself inside out to try to get rid of the sugar. So if I didn't have insulin, then I would not be here. But the same, if I didn't have a certain amount of carbs to pick that blood sugar level up if I needed, I wouldn't be here. So you've got to find that fine balance. Right. So you're almost catching yourself every time.
Okay, so did you have any, so after you first found out, did you have any troubles where you had to go to things like hospitals and stuff?
All the time. I'm constantly monitoring my levels for what I need, and taking down notes. I try to write out days of what my level's doing day by day, what my intake is day by day, what type of food I'm having, so that I can give this back to a specialist, that this is what they study each day. They don't necessarily live it, you know, but they're studying it to say to me, oh, I don't think this is quite working out. You should raise this here and raise this here and da-da-da-da-da-da. So always back and forth with the hospital, because every case is different also.
So did you always go to the same doctor, or did the doctors change all the time? And if so, did this affect you, or do you think it would have been better if you had the same doctor all the time?
When I was younger, because I was on like the brink of kids age when I got diagnosed, so I always had different doctors, and I would barely listen to what they said. But now my nurse probably helps because she's quite attractive. I listen a lot to what she says, and talk through scenarios of what is and what isn't for what's going to help me. So yeah, like I'm constantly taking on board what my doctor now says, because but then also contributing myself to say, hey, look, I don't think that this will work because, and she'll go, actually just try it. And I'm like, yeah.
All right, so what happened about school around that time? Because you're quite young, so the day you were diagnosed, did you return to school, or did it take you some time before you got back to school? Or how did that work?
No, I had 2 weeks off. 2 weeks off before I went into hospital. And then I had a week off, didn't I?
You were in hospital for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I didn't go back to school straight away. I took my time. Because above everything, you look after your health first, and to figure that out. Even now at work, I go to do something, go to leave for work, and I'm like, no, sort out my life first. But yeah, I mean, it was a hindrance because you have to understand, you're trying to learn all this shit at school, which is not life. And I'm trying to do my life, you know, so the education system didn't really help me. But I mean, I had to adjust it to work for school as well. And then like everyone at school, you know, like they just wanted to watch and they wanted to see what I was doing because this was something crazy. No one had been through this at school, you know, they'd never seen it before. But I'd never like heard of diabetes before I got diagnosed. So I was like, oh, you got type 1 diabetes. I was like, can you explain? What does this mean? This is what the doctor said to me. So yeah.
So when you're at school, were you having to go to the nurse constantly to get the needles, or did you always have them on you?
No, I'm independent.
Awesome. So what could you tell someone to help them go through what you've been through? So if you knew someone who was going through what you're going through, what would you tell them to help?
Trash it out. Like, if you get given, say I see my doctor every 6 weeks, so I get given something from her to change, and I'd change it on that day. I'd go about a week, and then I'd be like, oh, is this working with me? Isn't it? Like, how can I make it better? How can I make it worse? How so would it be worse, you know? And so you try stuff, you change it, you adjust, you work it so it's not controlling your life, you're controlling it. And that's how I treat my diabetes the whole time. Like, sure, I've got to make life adjustments for it, especially when I have big changes, like I started dancing again, so I had to go to the gym in the morning. Huge change to wake up at 4:30 every morning and go to the gym. But I just decided this is what I love and this is what I'm going to do, you know, and I just made it fit my life. And then I needed less insulin. I just kept on going low. Like my blood sugar level just would not come up every morning, and it'd be the same time. So you adjust your insulin. You just figure out what works.
So if you look back on it, do you think it's all had a positive effect on you?
Yes.
Has? So if you didn't have your diabetes, what do you think you'd be like now? Do you think you'd be much different?
I know. I think of that, but then I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't even change having diabetes now. Does that make sense?
Yeah. All right. So how do you think it's influenced your life now? Because obviously you're still having to watch what you're eating and stuff now. But do you think that's a good thing since you're going to the gym and doing so much dancing? Do you think because you're having to watch what you eat, do you then know how much you're supposed to be burning or...
So, with like my gymming stuff, like my second nature is to count carbs in food.
Mm.
So I can look at a meal and go, there is about this much rice that's got this many carbs. There is, so that equates to so many units that I've got to take. And something that's become a little quite, like with my gymming, it's become quite a passion, and to count macros, which is your carbs and proteins and fats, to look at a plate and diagnose what's in there off that. Because if you want to be in a surplus to get bigger, to bulk up, then you need to eat in excess. So you don't really need to watch that, what you're eating when you're in a surplus. But when you're trying to be in a deficient, deficient, where you're trying to eat less to lose body fat, then you, like, that carb counting and the macro counting is just totally second nature. I can look at that, and people really struggle. Like, they've got to weigh, even though I do, I weigh everything. They've got to weigh everything, and they just really struggle with what it is. And I've seen people just not make sense, and they just give up on it. They're just like, oh, this is too hard. So I did like macro counting for a little bit, and I just found it really easy, which was really beneficial for me. But then also, like, I can tell when, I guess I can convert over to when my body is using like its most energy or its most whatever, I can know when my body is, like, with my levels and stuff, where I'll typically go high and low, so I can find that mid-range and just really stick to it if I'm in a motorbike race, and like I can see just how much energy is used in that, because I can eat large amounts of food. I can drink whole Powerades and race and come back and nearly be at the same level like 45 minutes later, which if I was to do that with, say, a run, I know that I'd just go up and then come down after, but with the motorbike racing, like, it just drains you of so much energy, so you just need to fuel your body with it, and people wouldn't so much see that. I guess if you pay enough attention, you always would, but I think it's good to have that, like, that little edge to see it earlier, and when I like to explore more hobbies, which are always exercising stuff, you just see more patterns like that. Yeah.
So obviously you've learned how to count carbs and work all this out, but what do you think is the biggest thing you've learned from your diabetes? So from all of it, what's something that you reckon would be one of the biggest things, or something that stands out for you the most?
Never take anything for granted and always respect everything.
Awesome. All right. So, can you please finish one of these sentences? My life is a good example of resilience because, or answer, this has made me more resilient because. Would you like me to repeat them? My life is a good example of resilience, or this has made me more resilient.
Okay, so whether or not people want to take my life as an example of resilience or not, my diabetes makes me more resilient because I see people every day going through their life with their first world problems, thinking their life's shit. You know, and they can be on a computer all day, in front of a TV all day, you know. I mean, I'm not going to judge people. They're not, they can do what they want to make them happy, you know, but you just get people that will lose the plot if they lose a video game, if they've got no reception on their phone, if something happened on social media, you know, if they couldn't see their next video to watch. And I'm just so thankful for the things that I've got, whether it's my diabetes or not that's made that. I think it's my mindset, you know, from my upbringing, but my diabetes is like a full part of my life now, and the resilience that it gives me to carry on, to not just stop and go, nah, it's a shit, can't do it anymore. You know, and I have times like that, but it's the fact to just, when you're knocked down, to just get back up and keep going and just keep on enjoying life, you know. Just to let people do what they want to do to make them happy, and for me to just continue and do what I want to do to make me happy, you know. You know, I come across like an asshole, like I ignore people, and it's just because I don't need you in my life, you know, because I'm just here being happy.
Right, so you mentioned your upbringing. How did your upbringing make you resilient? Or how did it help you?
I had one side with my parents being split up, so I had one side of complete freedom and utter love, you know, and when I got older I realised there was a big financial struggle, you know, but I had the other side where money was no issue. There were huge how do I say it, expectations on behaviour, and still love, but big expectations, you know, and to bring them both together, like I see them as such opposite sides of it all, and then that's what I had to cope with all the time, you know, and it just moulded me into what I am today. And again, I won't change it. I mean, it is what it is, and I love it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for this. Okay. Ruby.
Are you playing with the dog behind?
No, just like grabbing its head. How'd you grab its head? Like, no, I'm not recording it.
Are you recording it?